Back again with another one. The Smoker Section TV. We at the Ballers for Peace event with the beautiful.
Let's two times.
Two times. You already know. You already know. Okay, okay. We at the Ballers for Peace event. Shout out to H2O. Shout out to H2O. Now, I see you not in bowling gear. So, what did you do at this event today? You performed.
I bowled another way. I performed.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dancers, the Solanges.
Shout out to the dancers. Shout out to the dancers.
Because we performed my single, Lish Two Times, Baking Soda Remix. Shout out to Ali the Greatest. Shout out to DJ J Hood, who get it, added the Jersey Club swag to the record. Yes, out everywhere. Go to lish2x.com, by the way.
Stay tuned, because I got footage of their event. I got footage of their performance. Okay. Now, let me ask you this question. How did you get linked in with this event?
So H2O and I ran into each other somewhere, some event, and he just said to me like, "Oh, I gotta have you perform at my event. Stop playing." And I was like, hello, duh. And then like it just happened. Okay, so let me ask you this question: what does this event mean to you? Because there's a big meaning behind this. Yes. So it's Ballin' for Peace, and I tell people all the time, it's no secret that I am a Muslim. Muslims, the first thing we say out of our mouth when we see one another is Assalamu alaikum. Salam means peace. Ballin' for Peace. Hello. How could you have an event about peace without me? Hello. Yes. No, but it's lovely because, like I was saying earlier, like this is an event where people are coming together of all different talents and backgrounds, and they're really showing love to one another. And it's very peaceful. Even though it's a game, a competition, it doesn't feel that in here. It's beautiful. So shout out to my brother H2O for putting us together, all of his partners, his whole team, because Ballin' for Peace is something that he's been doing consistently for the last decade. This is his 10th one. And he also does the softball games and everything like that. So I'm just so proud of him, and I'm happy to support any way I can. Okay. And I peeped your style a long time ago because we've been in the same rooms together quite a few times. So I peeped your style. You're different than everybody else. Let's talk about it because it's a lot of TNA going on, and then there's no TNA going on with you, but you still stand out. How are you able to accomplish that? What do you mean by Oh, I know what TNA means. Ha! Yeah. I get it. Okay, now I know what TNA is. So no, that's not my thing. I love being a covered girl. You know, shout out to my first EP entitled Covered Girl. That's how I introduced myself to the world. And that is how I want to die in this world, as a covered girl. Because I'm not just covered by cloth. I'm covered in faith. I'm covered in love. I'm covered in light. The nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just shines upon me ever so bright. So that is what it's about, you know? Just not being who you are authentically. I did the whole half naked thing before, and you know, it really wasn't who I was. And I think that a lot of times when you come into an industry, you over-sexualize yourself because that's what you see, and you think that that's what you have to do to make it. And although it is often harder for me in rooms to really shine, I feel like in the long run, I'm gonna be the brightest star. Okay. Now, let me ask you this question. How long have you been in the industry? So Lish2X, the artist, was born over the pandemic. I've been doing a lot of things like poetry and things like that before. I have rapped before, but the artist, Lish2X, was born over the pandemic. Shout out to Money Lim because she was my first publicist ever. And I learned a lot in the year that we worked together, or year plus that we worked together. And then I also started really just developing my sound and developing what my message is supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me ask you another question. I see you running around with a lot of other female artists. Now, how is it linking up with other female artists? Because they say a lot that, you know, females don't really get along, but I see you out here getting along with the female artists that you be running with. You know, you can say their names if you want to say their names. I'm like Canada and Switzerland. Like, I really don't, but like, I don't believe in beef. I'm a vegan. Like, you feel me? Like, I love my girls. I love the sisters. I love to see them doing their thing, even when their thing is different than my thing. You feel me? Shout out to like I say I don't believe in the term best friend, but honestly, my best sister in the game. Shout out to my sister Steph G, who I love. Steph G, you already know. Y'all see us. That's really the only person you will see me with all the time. Shout out to Steph G. Because, you know, we've been supporting each other from like the beginning pretty much. When she first started rapping and started doing shows, that was around the time that I started too, in a sense, you know, so. Yes, that's what made me ask you that question, because I seen y'all are real tight in pictures and everywhere. So, next question. Y'all don't see a lot of that stuff on the internet. Y'all don't even know, like that's my sis. I follow her, so like I see what y'all put out there. Yeah, so that's my sis. Let me ask you this question. Okay,
What song did you do today?
I did Lish 2 Times, Baking Soda remix. Shout out
Okay.
to DJ J Hood who added that Jersey Club swag to it.
Okay, so what other music that you have out there? Because I know that's not the only song. You got a
Lish 2
catalog.
Times,
Let's
Lish 2
go with-
Times, Borderbag remix featuring my good sis Steph Mother Chuckin' G. Don't play with it. Don't forget that I am the first artist to ever put out a Ramadan album. So the Ramadan album Reloaded is out now. So if you ever need something to uplift your spirit, something to really talk to you and remind you of who you are, regardless of what your religion is, your faith, whatever the case may be, go to lish2x.com, download the Ramadan album Reloaded, or you can go stream it on Spotify and Apple. I won't see a dime, but listen to it. Because I really, feel like there's a message in it for everyone, regardless of what you're going through. The Ramadan album Reloaded out now. And if you're really into poetry, I do have a spoken word piece on the first Ramadan album. So yeah.
And then this is my very last question. Like, when you feeling down, when you don't feel like really motivated, what gets in you to keep on going with this?
Honestly, I'm going to always go back to my faith. As a Muslim, I do believe in praying, and not just praying in my head, like, no, physically getting up and praying. I tell people all the time, like, work in harmony with your prayers. All of this past Ramadan, wallahi, I prayed. I said, dear Lord, bring me a good team. I need a good manager. I swear the night Ramadan ended, he delivered my current manager in the back of a Rolls-Royce. I swear to God, a Grammy Award winning songwriter pulled up to my house to pick me up to take me to the studio. And Gina was in the back seat. So I'm like, I don't believe in coincidences. I tell people, be very intentional when you pray. That was delivered to me. I call my girl Solange. I say the Solanges, but I call my sister Solange. And she was just willing to work with me because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. We had like a couple dance rehearsals before we even brought in other dancers. So those prayers really hit. Don't sleep on your prayers, but you got to believe in them, and you have to work in harmony. I don't believe in a mystery God. The Bible says that faith without works is dead. The Quran also says kun fayakun. You merely have to say be, and it is. So that is what I have to remind myself of every single time I feel lackluster and not motivated, or I feel like I'm not being seen, not being respected as the artist that I am. I have to remember that and just keep working.
Okay, you talked about the dancers. You have to give the dancers Instagram because people might need dancers for their
First
videos
of all, if
and
y'all go to
stuff.
Lish2X, y'all will see my dancers on my Instagram page. I'm not one of those. I do tag my dancers. If you go to lish2x.com,
Go to Lish2X.
I do have, you feel me? I do have a blog, Witnessed by Lish. I do write about all the events that I go to. If y'all were here today at the Bowling for Peace event, you may just be in there because my photographer, Stefan, takes pictures of everything, not just me. And I
Yeah,
do
she got her
post.
own photographer. I see him
I don't
running
play
around
those
there.
games. I bring my own everything. I don't like to wait for nobody else. So being intentional.
Businesswoman.
I'm trying.
Nah, you doing more than trying. Stop being modest.
I'm trying. I give everything to God and to like just working in harmony with those prayers. So yeah.
Okay. In closing, thank you for being on the Smoking Section TV. Shout out to H2O. Shout out to Bowling for Peace. You already know, guns down, balls up. Guns down, balls up. Pause. Oh, man. Hey.